Turning Red. Turning Red is the story of Mei Lee, who is a teenager growing up in the early 2000s. Mei Lee is in the midst of navigating her adolescence as a 13-year-old, which is causing her a lot of stress. And that stress leads her to one morning wake up as a giant red panda. It turns out that her family has this secret maternal trait that causes them to turn into giant red pandas whenever they feel intense emotion. So she has to navigate this situation while at the same time discovering who she wants to be and live for, and explore her own adolescence. And we have her movie. Overall, Turning Red is a delightful film from Pixar once again, as they just can't seem to stop turning out really great movies. This is a genuine coming-of-age story that has a lot of depth and exceptionally explores the ideas of self-discovery and adolescence. Watching Mei Lee grow in the company of her friends is truly fun to watch. The dynamic between her and her family members is extremely cringy and relatable, which makes you feel embarrassed on her behalf, and everything is pretty well paced, with the exception of the first 10 minutes of the film. And Domi Shi, as the director, does an exceptional job of exploring the struggles of adolescence within this storytelling. Starting off with what I really enjoyed about this movie. Turning Red is pretty well paced. The meat of the movie is almost exactly 1 hour 30 minutes, with the remainder of it just being credits and I believe a post-credit scene. With the exception of about the first 10 minutes, at no point did I ever feel bored or that nothing significant was happening. Mei Lee is constantly evolving, and so are her circumstances. We often see these moments of her evolution that are memorable, delightful, hefty, and make everything feel really significant, and that produces excitement in one way or another pretty consistently and makes the movie feel very meaningful and efficient at all times. Also, there's excellent character development between Mei Lee and her mom Ming Lee, who's played by Sandra Oh. On one side we have Mei Lee, who's played by Rosalie Chang, who plays as the Chinese-Canadian adolescent teenager who loves to hang out and spend time with her family, but also loves to spend time with her friends. She loves to honor and serve her elders, and seeing her struggle between the two of them is really interesting because you can see that she truly wants to become her own true self. And that's an idea that this movie explores very often, is who are you really living for? Are you living for the person that your parents want you to be, or the person that you want to be? And that dilemma is captured constantly in this movie in really meaningful ways that create a lot of tension, create a lot of conflict, which cause Mei Lee to grow consistently as a character. And seeing her navigate those situations is really rewarding as you get to empathize with her more as the movie progresses. And conversely, you've got Ming Lee, who is Mei Lee's mom and is the helicopter parent that a lot of you have likely seen before. She creates a lot of embarrassment for Mei Lee, which creates a lot of additional tension and conflict, which we get to feed off of. And not only does the movie explore those embarrassing moments and how it impacts Mei Lee, but it also explores the repercussions of that on her mom. And Turning Red even takes that a step further by exploring Ming Lee's past just a little bit more in depth and understanding the cyclical nature that gets passed down from generation to generation, and how it's formed Ming Lee as a mother today. And within that, there's deeper conversations that the movie has about the cyclical behavior that gets passed down from generation to generation, and how it sometimes can tear families apart, or at the very least create resentment between generations if one of them should break that cycle. And lastly, the dynamic between Mei Lee and her friends really sells the adolescent experience in this movie. And part of that experience is having and navigating relationships between friends, which this movie captures really well. And Mei Lee and her friends get to navigate a ton of experiences together, and the movie showcases how the navigation of those situations can evolve, change, or grow their friendships. We get a full view into the triumphs, the falls, and the milestones as they go ahead and support each other through their struggles, while others are purely fun, imaginative, and exaggerated, which just creates additional creative ways to explore friendships. Now, what did I not like so much about this movie? There's only one thing I didn't really love, and kind of going back on my pacing point earlier, the exception of that is the first 10 minutes in the movie. I think I just didn't enjoy those first 10 minutes. I have to watch the movie a second time to really understand why, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't a fan. Friends, in the end, I'm gonna have to say Turning Red is a 9 out of 10. It was amazing, and I highly recommend watching it. It's on Disney Plus right now. Friends, have you seen Turning Red? If so, what'd you think of it? You know where the comment section is. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching another Bankrupt Hippo movie review. If you like this, click right here if you'd like to see more. I've been Bryson. Until next time, have a great day.